Who are the best onesies to take in this year's draft? I'm going to try to answer those questions for you. Hey guys, I'm Jay and I'm your host here at Vegas Guys Locker Room, and today we're breaking down the onesie positions. These are our quarterbacks and tight ends. Now, I know in the past videos we've broken down our top 5 potential value picks and looks like a couple bust. This video we're going to do things a little bit different because this is a onesie position. This is one person you're going to play week in and week out. You're not going to grab a whole lot of these guys in your draft. But first, a trivia question. Name this quarterback. 372 completions, 4,159 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Let us know what you think the answer is, and stick around to the end of the show to get the answer itself. Well, guys, we're going to break down first the quarterbacks. Now, listen, I got 4 guys. If you're going to grab them, you're going to have to grab them. And if you don't, then listen, wait till later and get a little more value for your onesie position. The 4 guys that I'm targeting early, depending on where I'm drafting at, will be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson. If you're not getting one of those 4 guys, great bet you can wait till later in your draft to fill that onesie position. Now, depending on where you're selecting from in your draft slots and how many teams there are, can kind of change where you're going to draft these guys at. I mean, if you're drafting on the terms of 1 in the 10 in the 10-team league or the 1 in 12, you probably want to grab these guys kind of early just because it's so long in between your picks that you may have to sacrifice an early round pick to get one of these guys. If you choose to wait, here's a couple of values you can pick up later on in the draft. Starting with Kyler Murray. Right now, his draft capital is going in the 7th round. There's plenty of time to wait and get some good foundational pieces at your running backs and receiver positions to wait for somebody like a Kyler Murray at the end of the 7th. Now, he's got a shiny new toy, Marvin Harrison Jr. You know he's going to be explosive. They're going to want to throw the football and be a little more aggressive, but they do play in a very tough division full of the Rams, Seahawks, and Niners. How good is he going to be? Listen, I'm not saying it's a lock that he's going to be a top 5 quarterback, but he is a good value pickup here in the 7th. Another quarterback to look at, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is going in the 10th. You know they're going to throw the ball. If you like Amon-Ra St. Brown, or if you grab Amon-Ra early, you can definitely wait till later in the draft to make that stack with Jared Goff. Do not try to waste a pick early in the draft if you don't have to, especially with this stack, which makes it amazing. Jared Goff going in the 10th, I think, is a great value. Another great value going in the 9th round, surprisingly, is Brock Purdy. Now, you think, Brock Purdy, it's a boring name. You do realize he did outduel C.J. Stroud last year in fantasy points. A team that does not throw the ball as much as most other teams, but is very efficient when they do. Brock Purdy going in the 9th, especially if you're able to get some of these other stack-ups in that offense, such as a Deebo Samuels or a Brandon Ayuk, and possibly George Kittle. Or, hey, you had the number 1 pick and you get CMC. Great stack to have them because you know they're going to run CMC the ball out of the backfield. So Brock Purdy going in the 9th, great value pick, and you can really set a great foundation in your team and really be happy with the way it comes out with this pick. Another one, old vets, Matt Stafford. You know Stafford's always going to be great. He's got Puka Nacua. He's getting Cooper Kupp back. I think these weapons alone, with Kyron Williams coming out of the backfield that he's going to throw the ball to, is good signs for Matt Stafford going forward. He's going in the 12th, so it's a great value. You can pretty much solidify most of your team before you have to make that choice to pick him up or not. And, of course, I couldn't mention this, but the big wild card that you could grab really late in drafts if you completely punt on the position is Will Levis. Now, hear me out with Will Levis. He's got a lot of weapons there in Tennessee. Now, is he going to be a stud? Remains to be seen. But I think he's going to be more of that Jameis Winston type player you were getting in those drafts. Jameis Winston wasn't bad for fantasy football. Yes, he threw a lot of interceptions. Yes, he loves to take shots. Sound familiar? Will Levis could be the next Jameis Winston, really wanting that big home run play to his wideouts. Yes, he's probably not great for regular football, but he could be good for fantasy football if you completely punt on this situation. He is currently going in the 15th round on average, so you pretty much get him at the end of your draft and really stack up on the other positions and be happy with what you end up with. Now let's break down the tight ends. I got 4 tight ends you want to grab, and other than that, you're probably going to look for some values here later in the draft. That's going to be Travis Kelce, Trey McBride, Mark Andrews, and Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta, of course, coming off his rookie year, really great tight end, probably could improve. He's probably going to be either 1 or 2 in this tight end market. If you're not going to risk the draft capital on these guys because you're going to have to get them early if you want them, Mark Andrews does fall a little bit. But if you don't get one of those guys, you can probably look at one of these names. Evan Ingram going later in drafts. Listen, they're in Jacksonville. They throw the ball a ton. Evan Ingram is a great option, especially in the red zone for these guys. They love to throw him the football. They love to throw the ball in general. Look for Evan Ingram later in drafts. George Kittle, I believe, going in the 7th in most drafts. You can wait a little bit to pick up that onesie position and see if you can get the magic he had last year, because George Kittle did have a great year, over 1,000 yards receiving last year from the San Francisco 49ers. George Kittle, I believe, going in the 7th, 8th round in most drafts. You can wait to pick him up. Kyle Pitts. Reports are Kyle Pitts is planning on playing 2 positions. It looks like they're going to use him as a receiver and a tight end. He's a great, phenomenal athlete. We've talked about it before. Everyone knows he's probably one of the most athletic specimens to play the tight end position in a long time. Now with him going to that wide receiver kind of role as well, look for Kyle Pitts to maybe possibly finally answer those prayers everyone in Dynasty football has been waiting to hear, and Kyle Pitts gets involved in the offense. Another one, Dalton Kincaid. Another offense we've talked about with the lack of weapons on the outside. Kincaid can be a guy that Buffalo targets over the middle along with James Cook. I think they spread the ball around. Dalton Kincaid is not a bad pick. If you want to wait, I believe he's going in the 8th round, and that could solidify your draft there. Remember, the onesie positions, you don't have to really put yourself out there to make sure you get one of the great ones. If you build a solid team, you can still get a good value at these positions later on in the draft. And now for the answer to our trivia question. If you guessed Jordan Love, you are right. And nice NFL knowledge. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more sports content that we love bringing to you. And check out our shorts with our trivia questions, as we love to make those and see who's right. Comment your answers on those and let us know how good of NFL knowledge you have. Well, anyways, guys, that's it for today, and I will see you in the next one.